everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Joey Evans.
And today we're taking a look at Rove.
It's a tiny game.
This is a big, giant game. Oh, sorry.
To put
Your
those...
hand wasn't underneath there, right?
No.
All right.
Glad those are in bags.
Rove is a game that when it came in, I had forgotten about it. I probably had backed it on Kickstarter at some point or whatever. And I looked at it and I was like, wow, this game looks like they ripped off Gloomhaven.
100%, from box size to everything. Even open the card.
I opened up and looked at it, the little things. I was like, oh, it's like Gloomhaven. It wasn't until later that I found out that this company, Addicts Games, they were also the people who had made an unofficial but approved expansion for Gloomhaven.
Crimson Scales or something?
Crimson Scales. Yeah. And designer really likes Gloomhaven, so this is kind of like a love letter to Gloomhaven, because once you start playing it, yes, it's in the same category as Gloomhaven.
Right.
But it's very different.
Nay, I'd say, okay, yes, but very different.
In many ways.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you a brief overview of the game, and we'll be right back. In Rove, you're going to be dealing with these 4 books most of the time. You have the campaign book, and the campaign book is just going to be going through different chapters, giving you choices, and telling you the story of the game. The map book is where you will turn and go through different maps. There are some tiles that will get placed on top of these, but these are the various places that you will be fighting enemies over the course of the game. The Codex books is more of little excerpts of stories that you will read and things happening depending on what happens in the campaign. And then the Adversary book. This book is laid out. Sometimes it's 1 page, sometimes it's 2. And next to each of these boards, next to each of these pages, you will put these to show enemies' damage. And this is going to show you the enemies for a particular mission and what they will do on that mission. So let's talk about the heroes. There are 5 heroes in this game. Each of them comes in their own little case that you will open up and get all the different pieces that you're seeing here. And as they level up, there's even different cases that they can level up into and become a new form. And so as the game goes by, they're going to be leveling up. But I'm going to talk about how they play. Everybody has 4 abilities. These 4 abilities, on the player's turn, you can use 2 of these abilities. Usually everybody has 1 ability that simply lets them move. This lets you glide for 3 spaces. They might have some basic attacks on them. And then your cards. Every card in this game is double-sided. And there are 2 different types of cards that players have. Some of them require dice from your pool, like this bolt does. It requires you to spend 2 dice from your personal pool and put them in your infused pool. And other ones do not require that. And it said this one, for example, lets me jump 4 spaces, but then it lets me roll a die and add that die to my personal pool. Whenever you use any card here, you will then flip it over to the other side. Now that I have 2 dice in the pool, I can use the bolt. The bolt is a more powerful attack, has a range of 2 to 4, does 3 damage. It also puts one of my own little personal ether fields on the person that I'm attacking, which causes the enemy to suffer 2 damage on their turn. Also, if the dice that I use, and the reason we roll them, matches these symbols, I'll get bonus effects. So if one of these dice was on the diamond gray side here, I would get an extra 2 range. And if one of them was on a yellow, I could also push the person 2 spaces. Now, I'm obviously not going to go over every card, but just to say that the more dice you spend, like on this Tempest, you're going to hit someone, then hit everyone around them, or at least 3 enemies around them, and you can do more damage if you have 2 fire to spend. Sometimes you'll always, whenever you do a card, you'll flip it over to the other side, but sometimes it will cause you to flip other cards based on which one you're going to do. So on the good guy's turn, they're going to use 2 of these and 1 card flipping it over. As characters level up, they have a chance to add other cards, replace those cards, your basic cards with them, and like I said, eventually get to the point where you're a whole new character with new special abilities. As you keep track of the rounds in the game, players are going to be doing the good guys first. The heroes will go, like I just told you. The bad guys will also be going. They're always going to start by doing the first thing here on their first round. So this one tells you they'll jump 2, then they'll attack for 1 and do 2 damage. After that, though, you'll roll this die, and it will tell you how many spaces over to move this token, which will tell you what they do next. If it goes past the end, then it stops and does number 1 again. So number 1 will happen the most. Now for the enemies, the monsters, and the heroes, whenever you attack someone, you're going to be looking at a chart here and rolling an 8-sided die. There are moons on the 8-sided die, which are nothing. No modifier at all. But if I roll, for example, this fire here for the true scale character, I'll do an extra damage. While on the other hand, if I roll this psychic, I will do an extra damage. But if I roll these diamonds here, I'll do 1 less damage. And the monsters also have such attacks on the side of them too. It also tells you their hit points, while the heroes will keep track of their hit points here. The monster hit points, you'll just keep track of the numbers. There might be more than 1 to see how much it takes to kill them. A couple other things, each player has a reaction token, and you can use it. You have 2 reaction cards with these exclamation points, and this one says after you're attacked. I could teleport 3 and get a die, and then flip this over like normal, or the attacker suffers a damage, and then I can defuse a die. Sometimes you can take a die and you can change it. So if I have a fire die, I could change it, basically sucking all the energy out of it. It's still a die I can spend, but I can't. It's basically good for nothing at that point to do an extra damage. And sometimes when someone else attacks, so you have 1 of these that you can use per turn. You also have items and weapons and equipment that you can get. You'll be buying these in between missions as the game gives you money, and you can use these on your turn. Now, there is a dice pool mechanism here. Many of the cards are going to give you dice into your personal pool, which has a amount, the maximum amount. This character, the Flash, can have 4. Most characters can have 3. And when you spend these dice for cards, you'll move it down to the infused pool. For weapons, you'll spend dice from the infused pool, and then they will go back to the supply. And so many times before you're attacked, I can spend any die to get an extra shield for that attack. And if it happens to be a green, I get 2 extra shields for that. You even also can buy potions and things to help bring other people back to life over the course of the mission, because if someone dies, that would be the end of that mission. And, well, that's basically some of the basics of the game. I don't want to spoil too much of the story. The game does come with a few other things, like, a map of the whole area if you want to know a little bit more about the land. And there's a lot of story involved in the game. But the game mostly is about battles. And like I said, most of them are on a page of that map book, fighting back and forth. Okay, so there's so much to talk about with this game.
It really is.
This is a game that's based on combat for sure.
Right. Yep.
The combat is a little puzzly in nature, but it feels very freeing. So there's the big story in here. What is the story? There's you're in this land, the world of chorus, and there's something about harmony and things like that. And there's a big, long story, and I won't get into that, but I will give them props that it is a unique thing. They're not goblins and dwarves and elves. No. They're weird, unusual creatures.
Let me get it out of the way. I have very few cons. One of the cons is the fact that they are trying to world build in this, and but a lot of the terminology, they're really using something new every time that kind of like, wait, what? But it's fine.
Now, I'll tell you this, though. The game, like I said, there's a story, there's a background, but it's all about the combat.
Yes.
And what makes this game sing, pun intended, is that right out the gate, you feel like you kick things around. Mm-hmm. The game comes with a very nice tutorial system that walks you through. When that first battle, I think if you lose it, you should not game. Because it's that easy. You just walk over these bad guys. But it definitely ramps up the difficulty, and the leveling up system is I really like it.
It's really good.
Here's the thing, though. You level up by getting, your first level up is get another card, and get another card, and eventually you get to open a new pack, and there's some mechanisms I didn't show you, some tiles and stuff. But what really throws me about this is that I feel like out the gate, I have some fun decisions to make because I have 7 cards, and I pick the sides they start on. That's so fun.
That's the big thing for me. It's like the prep work of going in. I've got these cards, but I've got the combinations of which one's facing up, and you have to plan that. If you want to get those dice and you want to use these, you've got to start planning it out before you go into battle. That's pretty cool prep work.
And it's not overwhelming because honestly, some need dice to throw them on, and others don't. So you have a mixture of each. And the rule book tells you, hey, you're starting out, do a mix of each of the different sides of the cards. But that is fun. And then the dice system is a little... It's different. So you take a while to get used to the system.
Right.
And once the dice system works, you're like, okay, got some dice, done this. Spend the dice to go here. Oh, now I got weapons. At the beginning, your weapons aren't anything, but the game throws a good chunk of money at you, which lets you have all kinds of equipment and weapons and things. And pretty soon that dice system is flowing, and you can do really fun, cool things.
Yeah, and the upgrades on this, when you actually find things, the rewards, the treasures, things you can buy, they actually matter. Sometimes you're like, oh, I have that. Doesn't really come into effect now. These actually really feel like they help your character.
And if you use an awesome ability on the card, in 2 turns I can use it again. Now I have to use the other side, so that may not work out in my favor. And I also really like the reaction ability.
Oh,
Enemy
I love
hits
that.
me and I'm like, come on, I'm going to do some cool dodge or I'm going to heal. And I really like... That reaction makes me feel like there's always a chance.
Yeah, and even like I love the reaction, but also the whole like being able to slide those little cards up to whether or not you denote whether you use that action. Little things like that. It's the little things that have been thought about in here, and you can tell the guy's played a lot of dungeon crawls and Gloomhaven and things because he's fixed a lot of those things. As far as like just a sliding, I've done this and this. It just feels good.
Yeah. So I was kind of hesitant on this because people are definitely going to say, is this better than Gloomhaven? Because it looks a lot like it and it plays in many ways like it. And I don't want to like dig on Gloomhaven. No. I gave Gloomhaven a 10 when it came out. I thought it was super fun. But as time goes by, there's little parts of Gloomhaven I'm like, I wish this did that. I wish this did that. This does it. Yes. This gives me the money at the end of a battle. I don't have to go pick it up off the ground. This, I get the cards. I get to use them. The way the enemies move in this is really unique to me. I can see all the possibilities, but I'm not sure which one they're going to do.
And the way they get their hit points and all of that. Yeah.
And there's fun opening treasures. There's fun getting benefits, putting out stuff all over the map and exploding things. You never completely miss in this game.
Right.
I mean, well, if you're hitting with a 1 damage and you get -1 or whatever. Yeah. Right. But for the most part, if you hit something, you know you're going to do at least some damage. Of course, same thing to you. It's not overly easy. I mean, we've died. But it's also not overly hard, and each of the missions has, here's how to make it harder.
Right.
I completely ignore that. But if you want it, you can do it.
And it's always usually round based, so you know how long it's going to last. And the monsters are very unique. Everything does something different. The way they heal, they give area, whatever. I like the monsters in there and the way they're controlled.
You're also going to run your character to the end.
Yes.
Instead of retiring a character, getting a new one, you're getting an upgraded version of a character. Ah, that's so awesome.
Gets you so excited.
And so I find that to be a fun thing. The game has really good decisions. For example, after the tutorial, before your first mission, you make a radically big choice which one you're going to go do next. So minor things, those little tuck boxes, I hate them. I really do. I feel like I have to glue them all together every time so the stuff doesn't fall out. And this game that's all the tuck boxes. I didn't show you, but there's like 8 tuck boxes for the bad guys.
Right.
You put them in there. I might chuck the insert for this and just put the creatures, everything in bags. I'm not sure yet, but there's a ton of cards. I believe there's 450 cards in here, so there's tons of stuff that you can find and upgrade and do. But I've been playing the same character for almost the whole time. It has been the whole time. And I feel like I haven't plumbed the depths of that one character yet.
No. Yeah. And there's so many different characters to choose from. I really love everything that goes into this. And the fact that it comes out as the book, it sets up very quickly. Comparatively.
Yes. I love using a book for a map. I set that up. The whole game itself is not hard to set up. You just pull your stuff out, pick your character. The longest part of setup is you picking which of the 7 cards, and that's fun to set up.
I don't mind that. Because that's on you.
We played this with multiple player accounts.
Yep,
This is one where I think I like the full 4 the best.
Because the discussions and things like that, I like that too. I was surprised.
Yeah, because usually these games, I'm like, just the two of us can do it. And we did it with the two of us. But
Right.
with 4, the back and forth felt really interesting. And you also get to see 4, and you're like, you're the tank. You're the guy who's going to heal people. You do this. And it just felt really interesting.
Yes, I agree.
And there's more monsters that come out with 4 players. I mean, it's pretty simple way to do it.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a standalone. You're going to have to play through it. I mean, not a standalone. I mean, there's no standalone things. You're going to go through and you're going to play through a campaign. And there are a ton of these campaign games out there. So where does this one fall in all of those?
Yeah. So, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Coming in at 9 on this. I really do enjoy this. This is one of my favorite dungeon crawls. And again, this is more battle focused, like Tom said. But the battle thing is fun and upgrading is fun. Every part of this is enjoyable. Even the prepping for the battle is enjoyable. That really puts it forward. I really, really enjoy this. And the artwork, again, I don't think you mentioned that, but that's great too.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 9.5. I really like this game. It astounded me on how much I enjoyed it, and I'm getting a little jaded on these types of games in many ways. And even on this one, I was like, another Gloomhaven type game. But this one Joy's right, the combat's just so fun.
So fun.
Every time I sit there and think, I'll do this, and then use this card. Oh, okay. Oh, and after that card, I use this weapon. So I did like a really cool combo. And battles aren't long either.
Combos are so good.
30, 40 minutes, and they feel tough, and you can lose, but you can also win, and then you go on, and it's just such an enjoyable experience.
So good.
So that's Rove. I mean, I don't know how many of these giant games you need to own, but if you're going to get one, this is one that I give one of my highest recommendations to.
Agreed.
So there you go, folks. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joy Evans.
We also want to say thanks to some of our GameFound backers.
Yes.
Thank you to Joe Octopuppet Porcella,
Ooh.
to Rod Phelps,
Know that guy?
to Marcus of Denmark, and to Chrissy Stern.
Chrissy.
Thank you all for watching and supporting our show, and all of
Thank
you
you
for watching this review. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joy Evans.
See y'all. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.